In the last section, we successfully got navigation working between our sign in and sign up views, but our sign up page, it still looks a little bit rough. In this section, we're going to do a bunch of work to brush up that sign up screen and make sure a user can actually sign up. A lot of the code in here is going to be pretty darn similar to the code that we wrote inside of sign in, since it's a very similar form. So in general, we're going to kind of speed through it a little bit because I think a lot of it is basically stuff that we've already covered. The first thing we're going to do at the very top is add in our text input. So we have something where a user can actually enter some text. Next, we need an instance of our button. So we require from the common folder our button. Next, we'll delete the existing text tag in here, and we'll replace it with, I guess I didn't really have to delete that, another text tag that just says sign up. Now our sign up page is going to have 3 different text inputs. It's going to have a username, a password, and a password confirmation field. So let's do each of those 3. We'll do a text with a style of styles.label of username. We'll do a text input with the value of this.state.username. It will have on change text of text, this.setState username text, and we'll also give it a style of styles.input. Let's go ahead and, before we forget, add the styling. So we need a label, which is a font size of 18, and our input, which has a whole bunch of properties. We're going to get a padding of 4, a height of 40. We're going to have our border color of gray, a border width of 1, border radius 5, margin 5, width 200, and finally align self center. Okay, we need 2 other text and text input groups here. Normally I really don't like copy pasting code, but in this case it's going to be nearly identical, so we will go ahead and bite the bullet. So I'm going to copy paste once and twice. And we need to be very especially careful that we update all the property names in here. So the second one is going to be a password. It relies on value this.state.password. It updates state password, and I think that's it on that one. Next we get our confirm password. Our value will be this.state.password confirmation, and when we update our state, we'll update password confirmation. Next, do not forget we need to default our state with get initial state, and we will default our username, our password, and password confirmation to just be empty string. Okay, so that's all the boilerplate. Be very careful. Make sure that the 3 text inputs all have the correct state values in here. So, state.username, username, password, password, and password confirmation, password confirmation. Otherwise, you get some pretty interesting bugs. Anyways, let's go ahead and refresh the simulator. Navigate over to sign up. All right, this is looking pretty good here. I like it. The next thing we need to do is add our button. So we'll add a button. It will have text, I have an account. And the purpose of this button is to say, okay, well, I got over the sign up form, but then I remembered, I actually do have an account. Let me go back over to the sign in form. So if they click, tap, I have an account, we want to navigate them back to the sign in form. So we will add a event handler, this dot on sign in press, and then we'll add the handler for it on sign in press is a function. So we want to do basically, if the user taps this, we want to like navigate back to the sign in form. So this is where kind of remembering very carefully about your view hierarchy, or the views, the components that are sitting inside of your navigator stack is very important. Right now, whenever the user is looking at the sign up form, there's only one possible combination of components. The base component is the sign in form, and on top of that is the sign up form. So if they want to navigate back to the sign in form, we need to pop the current view. That will pop the sign up form, and they will go back over to the sign in view. So just like any other view that's being rendered by our navigator now, thanks to the fact that we passed the navigator as a property, we can access the navigator using this .props.navigator, and we'll just call pop. So let's save this, refresh, and we'll say I need an account, and then we'll say, oh, you know what, I just remembered I actually do have an account, and it takes us back to the view before. So we're pushing a view and we're popping a view. Pushing a view and popping a view. Cool. This is looking pretty good. I like it a lot. Okay, so this is good. Let's continue in the next section with making sure that a user can actually sign up.